Hey everyone, it's Lucy from KBeautyHobbit.com. We are way overdue for a Fails and Faves video. I used to do these monthly, and then I got into a funk, and it just became too much, even just to put on makeup and head downstairs to film. So I've been doing nail videos because they don't require any sort of FaceTime at all, but I've missed having talking head content as well, and I'm sure some of you follow me for that and not for my nail tutorials. So I'll try to have a better balance between the two types of videos. So today let's do some fails and faves. These are over the last few months. I will go in the order of fails first and then faves after. Usually I kind of mix them up, but today I thought let's try all the fails first. And do I have some fails for you? This one might be the worst product of this year by far. This is the Retinol Microcone patch by the brand called Acropass. I had super high hopes for these. These are basically little micro needle patches with retinol that you're supposed to be able to apply to targeted areas that have wrinkle problems. So nasolabial folds, under the eyes, on the forehead. I actually kept one pack, so there are only 3 in here, and they are expensive. There are 3 packs like this with just 2 patches in each pack. I tried them twice, so I used 2 packs and never again. This will literally never get used, and I don't even want to pass it on to anybody because ouch. So I don't know if I'm just personally allergic to the adhesive that lines the patch. The needle part seemed to be okay, but the adhesive, it left these red, sore, almost burning rings around my skin, including on the forehead and under the eyes. And for reference, I use prescription strength retinol. I use tretinoin, and I've used it for over a year, very regularly. And this still did not work for me. I paused my tret to try these, but still, it was just not okay. But I think it's more of the adhesive issue here versus the actual retinol in the product. If you try these and you had a great experience, awesome. I'm super happy for you because I would not wish the misery that I personally went through for anybody at all. I do have reviews for most of these on my blog. I'll put links in the description box. So if you want more information, you want more pictures, whatever, go check that out. But even if these were the God's gift to humanity, I do not think I would have paid for these out of pocket because it's actually cheaper for me to get tretinoin. And even if I did not have insurance coverage for my tretinoin, which I do, even if I didn't have that, it would have still been cheaper per application, much cheaper for me to buy the prescription strength tretinoin versus these. This guy is not a huge fail. This is the Heimish All Clean Balm. This is their original one. It's not a huge fail, but it's just kind of underwhelming. I think I had my hopes really high because so many people love it, which is why I decided to finally try it. I had a tiny travel size before, which seemed to work okay, but I really didn't have enough uses in that little trial to really form an opinion. But I went through this entire tub, and I also went through an entire tub of the Mandarin one, and they weren't bad, just disappointing. Didn't like the way this one smelled, but I like the texture of it better than the Mandarin one. I like the way that the Mandarin one smelled, but I didn't love the texture. Right now I just opened a little smaller size of the Mandarin because I needed a cleansing oil, and that cleansing balm was around, but just not super duper impressed. I just expected more out of such a hyped up product, but I'm also happy that it works for people and that they love it so much. This is the by Wishtrend UV Defense Moist Cream SPF 50. I mostly got this one because people kept asking about it. And in general, I have good luck with by Wishtrend products and all of their brands. I'm from Claire's. They usually work well for me, Revectin, but this one just did not. And I tried to do a good job, a thorough job when I'm testing sunscreens. So I tried this by itself and then under powder, but I actually did under powder first because that's what I typically do on my normal weekday. I put on sunscreen, I let it set in, and then I put translucent powder over it and sometimes mascara and go to work. When I did it like that, it was okay. I just thought this was a little bit too moisturizing, a little bit too nourishing for the summer, just a little bit heavy feeling on my combination skin. Well, then I decided for the purity of the test to try it by itself because there are a lot of people who do that and don't wear powder on top. So on one weekend morning, I put this on, then we had friends come over, and oh my gosh. Even an hour after application, sitting there playing with the kids, and I had a little itch or something, and I scratched my face, and I could just feel this tacky, like, suffocating, yucky kind of finish. And I know it's not because my morning routine is too elaborate and I had too many layers. My morning routine legit is usually toner powder, water rinse, vitamin C if I'm feeling fancy, but that day it wasn't even that. It was literally just rinsed off skin and sunscreen. That was it. So it's not like I was playing poorly with other skincare routine layers or something. No, it's just way too heavy. So I'm not sure how to use it up, to be completely honest. I might pass it off to friends, or I might use it up on my arms and legs. We are getting into the cooler season. Cooler in terms of it's not 103 degrees Fahrenheit outside anymore. So I might be able to do more walks, but still wear shorts and t-shirts and such. So I might use it up on my body. We'll just kind of see. I do like the pump dispenser. I do like the format and everything. I just don't like how it feels on my skin. I had such high hopes for this. This is the Kbeauty tinted lip balm, and for a while I saw it a lot on social media. I haven't seen it in recent months, maybe because people are underwhelmed just like I am. This is what it looks like. What I was expecting was something rich, nourishing, pleasant, pretty, maybe like slightly more tinted, but do you see this? On my lips, this is not noticeable. It just feels like chapstick, but it's kind of hard texture-wise. Like it's not easy to spread. I wish it were softer. And it's not necessarily moisturizing super well. It doesn't really add color. Is it awful? No, it's not awful, but I haven't been reaching for it either. It's just kind of joyless. And with the hype that Kbeauty Sunstick received, which I like their sunstick, and even their sunscreen that comes in a tube, I was just expecting more out of this, and no. It says add natural vitality to moist and glossy lips. Well, I don't know. Don't feel the vitality. Last fail. Well, again, it's not like a total fail. Nothing compares to the complete and utter failure of those retinol patches for me, but this was underwhelming. Bought this for the packaging. This is the Bewants Cica Collagen Lifting Cream. Kind of misleading marketing, really. A cream cannot lift anything except money out of your wallet, but the packaging looked really cool because it has this built-in metal roller, and I almost bought it. Well, actually, this was provided by Josie, but I get to pick out what I want. So I kind of thought about getting it with my Josie credits, and then I didn't. And then I was talking to a friend because she has tons and tons of good ideas sometimes of what to try, maybe things that I haven't seen. And she also suggested that I try this, so I thought, okay, well, I'll try it. Well, the roller is cooling, but then applying cream with it is really weird. If you squeeze this tube, and I don't want to make a mess right now, but if you squeeze this tube, the cream does come out right where the roller is. So it starts to sort of squeeze out, and then you could just roll it to apply it, but then you have a lot of skip areas because you can't roll really well around the nostrils, or let's say under the eyes if you want to put it there. It's just hard. The roller to me is more for like a cooling massage maybe. But the cream itself, if the packaging was not this interesting, the cream itself is mediocre. Like, it's okay, it's a gel cream, doesn't feel particularly great, doesn't do anything life-changing for me, definitely is not lifting anything as far as I could notice, nor would I expect cream to lift things, to be completely honest. It's just not possible. It's just not how physics work or how aging works. But without the packaging, this is really not memorable at all. And then, even though I'm not a huge sustainability warrior, I try to do what I can, but it is a valid question, I think, with something like this, where you have a metal roller, this is really heavy. What do you do with this when it's empty? Can you properly recycle it? Is it even right to be putting this much material, metal, labor, I'm assuming, into making something like this that is literally kind of a single-use product? Yeah, we're using this more than a single time, but once the cream is out, what do you do with the roller? It goes with the cream, right? I would say if you enjoy the rolling, just buy yourself a stainless steel roller or a fancy stone one, but I prefer stainless steel because you can't break it when you drop it in the sink. And just use a better cream and use the roller that is infinitely reusable. Speaking of better creams, we're on to the Faves now. This is amazing. I do have one complaint about it. This is the Skin 104 Madagascar Centella Probio-Cica Enrich Cream. It is so good. I'm going to try to show this to you. So, to the best of my knowledge, this has no snail ingredients, but it has that snaily, like, stringiness. Do you see that? I don't know if the camera is picking it up. Yeah, you can kind of see that. But it's a very rich, really nice feeling cream. I've used it a whole bunch of times by now, but still have not made a huge dent in it. It's just really nice and nourishing. You can use it anytime, morning or night. I use it at night. The one thing I really dislike about this, and I don't even know if I can blame the brand because so many brands do this, but I'm looking at this against the light right now, and look how big this jar is. But inside the actual container of the cream, it stops like right there. It's only this deep, and it's only like this wide. Yes, it lists that it's 50 milliliters or 1.69 fluid ounces on here, but I'm more of a visual person. If I saw this on a shelf, I would think I'm getting this much cream. I wouldn't sit there and read this and say, oh, it's 1.7 ounces, so it's probably small. Just for reference, this is 30 milliliters, and this is, in here, is 50 milliliters of product. So it's closer to this size, but this jar is really, really full. This jar looks like it's so much bigger than this one, but it really is not. The contents are not. Still, it's an awesome cream. I really like it. The next thing, I already sort of spoiled it a little bit, is the Heimish Marine Care Eye Cream. It is so beautiful, and I didn't grab the applicator, but it came with the most amazing little metal-tipped massaging little wand that feels magnificent, especially if you're using it in the morning on maybe slightly puffy eyes. I did not expect to like this as much. Oh, it smells really good. It smells like expensive, sort of fresh, but also maybe like sea breezy perfume. It doesn't linger though, so don't worry. If you don't like scents, it's not long lasting. Very rich, luxurious. Again, doesn't even look like I made a dent, much of a dent in it, but you really need like drops to use around the eyes, and it's wonderfully plumping, but doesn't feel sweaty or heavy or gross on the lids. And I have hooded eyes, so I really don't like to add any feeling of heaviness or greasiness or sweatiness to my eyes. I'm very picky about creams. This one is so, so, so good. Funny story about this guy. This is the Amuse Vegan Peach Cream. I have it in the color 01 Rosy. This is SPF 30. It comes in one more color, at least one more. Looks like this. It has a little pump dispenser. So the same friend who sometimes helps me pick out my orders said, hey, I'm using this Amuse cream and maybe you should try it, and it's so good and I really like it. And I thought, that looks vaguely familiar. I have a feeling that I have that. And I went through my shame crates, which is code name for the crates of unopened PR that I have. A lot of it is from advent calendars. But anyway, I went through, and sure enough, I have it. So I keep stuff unopened until I'm ready to use it, because once you open it, the period after opening starts. But when things are unopened, they're good for several years. So right now I'm getting things that don't expire until 2026, for example, if you don't open them. So this one expires, for example, in March of 2025 if you don't open it. But I went and I opened it and I started using it. I really like it. It's like a good blend between light sunscreen. I say light because it's SPF 30. I wouldn't rely on this as my only sunscreen necessarily most of the year, but everybody's different. I think dermatologists do say that at least 30 is good, but just make sure you're using enough of it volume-wise if you are using this as your only sunscreen. But it's a very light, sort of pinkish without being overly pink, kind of skin enhancing sort of product. Like, it makes my face look like my face still. You would still be able to see blemishes through it. You'd still be able to see my freckles, but everything just looks a little bit better, a little bit smoother, a little bit more blurred out, a little bit like I sleep more than 4 hours a night. Okay, so it's really nice. I'm just a little bit hesitant to say that this is enough as a sunscreen product, just because it does have that tint, and most of us don't apply tinted products all around the eyes, on the ears, the neck, stuff like that. If you do, and if you're using enough of it, maybe that could be your only sunscreen. For me, this is more like a makeup, like a no makeup look kind of thing. I still do my sunscreen base layer, let that set in, and then I do a little bit of this, and boom, I look less like a zombie. This guy is so cute, and I honestly did not expect to like it this much. I have not opened, well, I've opened, but I have not used this one. This is the travel size of the 107 Rice Soap. It was gifted to me, and I'm part of their affiliate program, but they also sent the main big size and then this travel size. So I've kept I've kept the travel size unused, but I'm using the big one. And honestly, it's glorious. I did not expect to enjoy a bar soap product this much. I know that not all bar soap is the same, but still, the connotation in my mind when I hear bar soap is something harsh, something devoid of joy, and perhaps in recent years something that is manufactured solely with the purpose of advertising the zero waste packaging. But this one is so nice, it's so gentle. It doesn't have any fragrance in it as far as I could tell, but the scent of it, of just the natural ingredients in it, is really, really pleasant. It's very light and unlike anything I've ever smelled before. I sound like an ad for their soap, but I really, truly do really enjoy it. And it makes this mild but abundant, sufficient foam. It's so good. I really like it. The only thing is if you're somebody who works out like I do and sweats like I do, which is not a ton, but still, you know, if you sweat and you want this to use this as a body soap, which I do, but if you want this to properly wash your smelly post-workout armpits, this is not the product for that, okay? It struggles with that. It's not its purpose. It's not advertised as post-workout stench remover, but just so you know, it does not do that well, okay? But it's okay. It's great as a face soap. It's awesome for arms and legs. And I have their little net thing, like a little mesh soap saver that's, it's not plasticky, but some sort of woven thread material. And that feels awesome. It's just a gentle exfoliator on the arms and legs. I don't do that on the face. For the face, I just foam it in my hands and use it. So I saved this one for travel because it's so joyful, so nice. Features their vinegar. 107 is known for using their special aged vinegars. They even sell drinking vinegars. Do not confuse the skincare and the drinking vinegars, please. But it's so good. Okay, enough about the soap. Just go try it if you can. I love it. The last few products are all makeup, and I do have one, just one, non-Asian favorite, but I thought it was worth mentioning because I'm in love, and I don't know how my nerdy self is just now finding out that the Clinique Black Honey was used on Liv Tyler in Lord of the Rings. Like, how do I just now find that out? Maybe because I was still living in Russia when 2 out of the 3 movies came out. Actually, the 3rd one came out the year I moved. So I watched it still over there in Russian, but then when I moved here, I think it may have still been playing. Anyway, so I found out that this was the lip product used in Lord of the Rings. I had to have it. I had to have it. I'm wearing it right now. It looks so cool in the tube, and it looks so cool on the lips, in my opinion, and you can layer it. So if you are a more uninhibited human than I am and you want brighter lips, you can do that. Or if you want more subtle lips, you can do that. Or if you're like me and you don't tend to carry this with you once you leave the house, they fade really nice and evenly. It's called Clinique Almost Lipstick. And it is, yeah, it's like a cross between lipstick and lip balm. And it was kind of pricey. Got it at Sephora online, and then I used that as an excuse to buy a whole bunch of other stuff. Story of my life. But anyway, oh, I love it. It's so good. If you know something comparable, similar color, maybe in the Asian beauty world, that's maybe more affordable, please let me know, because I already know that once I'm out of this, I will have to buy it again. So, yeah. I mean, I would have bought it even if I hated the color, just because Lord of the Rings. I would literally buy anything that is Lord of the Rings related, but it helps that I actually really enjoy it. So I guess today's episode is brought to you by my friend Claire. Her Instagram handle is KBeautyClaire. She was involved in this purchasing decision also. This is a 2AN blush, and you get 2 colors in one package. I am wearing it now. I don't know what I'm doing at all with makeup. I'm sure you can tell by my videos, but don't be too harsh. This is the dual cheek called Mood in Cheek, and I use both colors. I just sort of pat my brush into both and then apply. I'm wearing it today. Well, I have some other stuff like some attempted contouring and some highlight, whatever. But the pinkiness, the rosiness you see is from here. I love it, love it, love it. And actually, it used to be that I would only put stuff like blush on before filming, But ever since I got this, I like it so much, and it's so easy to use that I even put it on before going to work, which is some kind of feat of femininity for me. But I like how it looks, and it's so low effort, and I almost never look like I tripped and fell into a paint bucket face first, because it works with my pale complexion without looking like it's too much. Takes a couple seconds to apply. So I've been really liking it, and this emboldened me to order some more blush from different brands, so we'll see how that works. Stay tuned for those reviews. And last but not least, on Alicia Glitterpedia eye palette. This is not something I would normally go for. Like, a ton of glitters in pastel colors is not necessarily something I would order, but this came to me in PR from somewhere, I can't remember now. I think Stylevana, probably. It was like a mixed bag of surprise PR sort of that I didn't get to pick. Or maybe it was from some advent calendar, I don't know. I've had this for a while, but I opened it only a couple of months ago. And it sort of sat in my makeup drawer. And then I started using it, and I was using it with eyeshadow brushes. In the meantime, trying to find some cream eyeshadow singles that I could use with my fingers for a really low effort, lazy sort of application in the morning. And then I thought, you know what, when I apply this, it feels so creamy. Could it maybe be okay to use this with fingers? And it is. It's okay. It works really well with fingers. It's super glittery. I don't really get any fallout because of how creamy it is. Even a noob like me can figure it out. I've mostly been using a couple of colors here, because originally what I was doing is topping off like a matte shadow, like what I'm wearing now, with a little bit of the glitter, which is why it was kind of hard to tell what texture it was, because it was going on top of something. But now I've started to just experiment, just trying it with my fingers. And it works really well, and it's super easy, but it looks really cool. It's shimmery, it's shiny, it's pretty, but it's not really intense, so it's very difficult for me to mess up. I don't know if that's a selling point for you at all. Maybe you're all pros and just laugh at my questionable makeup skills, which is valid. But I really like it, so I'm actually going to be using this a lot more than I have been. That's it for most recent fails and faves. You can find more reviews on KBeautyHobbit.com or on Instagram at KBeautyHobbit. You can also find me in my private Facebook group, Korean Beauty Fanatics. We are growing close to 90,000 people now. I hope you found this video useful and or entertaining, and I hope to see you in my next one. Until then, please remember to always listen to your skin. Thank you so much. Bye.